not, I'm not really a beggar. I'm actually a magic man!
Oh, whoa!
He's
Yeah!
magic! I didn't expect this!
Magic!
Away!
Think happy thoughts.
Magic!
I love Magic Man.
Freak City is the debut of Magic Man, and I absolutely adore this douchebag. How can you not love a character whose first action after revealing his identity is turning a bird inside out? He shows up, does a really jerk move that can potentially screw up the lives of so many people, and then flies off to his next magical intervention where he screws over the lives of even more people. He is the epitome of chaos. He represents that life is not always fair, tragedy can strike anybody for no good reason, and a lot of times there's no moral behind a series of events, it's just a bunch of stuff that happened. Magic Man may very well be my favorite character of the Adventure Time universe thus far. His eccentric, wacky personality, his complete disregard for all other life, and his just rabid, grotesque, morbid sense of humor is something that I just deeply love to watch on screen. He is just a fantastic character. The trope that animals are attracted to kind-hearted people, Magic Man flips that upside down. Or should I say he turns it inside out. Though this is a relatively small act, it is only the first sign of Magic Man's gravitas and his ability to pervert the entire world to his desire. Many times it actually does feel like the world is at the tips of his fingers. He can do what he wishes, and I always wonder what would happen if he had a focused goal. How would the series develop if Magic Man wasn't just a random source of chaos, but instead a focused one? That's a pretty scary thought. The inhabitants of the Land of Ooze should probably be thankful that if they get horribly disfigured, it's at least only for a limited amount of time, usually, and they're not dealing with mass-scale atrocities that Magic Man is probably capable of committing. So yes, Finn gets turned into a foot, and the Magic Man screws off and doesn't really do much at the end of the episode when he appears again. His appearances in episodes tend to be short and sweet, and he plays a very background role to the rest of the plot. Speaking of background roles, Jake also doesn't do much in this episode, but he does display some horrible, dark behavior. No, I'm not talking about the foot fetish thing. The foot fetish thing is fine, there's no harm in that. I mean, you gotta feel sorry for Jake. His girlfriend doesn't even have feet. No, that's not the issue I was alluding to. What I'm talking about is that Jake kidnaps babies from a village. He takes these babies to a dry riverbed and then just sets them free and lets them crawl away. Probably to a horrific, violent death. Jake, you gotta return these babies to the parents, man. You can't just take babies from these villagers here. You gotta... Jake, they're crawling away. Jake, what are you doing, Jake? Finn doesn't really speak up about this either, and the duo proceed to go live under a bridge with some freaks.
I am Gork. That's Zap. Trudy. And that's Kip. That's Wee Wee and Goreflex. They were turned into tonsils.
Oh, that's what those are. I thought they were testicles. The best one of these so-called freaks is clearly Kim, who isn't afraid to speak her mind.
No, man, please. I freaking hate Trudy. Get his eyes! Cut him in the eyes!
You gotta love that enthusiasm for revenge. All the freaks literally join up to create a flesh robot, and I personally think this was a squandered opportunity to make a reference to mecha anime and have a pretty sweet transformation sequence. But oh well. The episode concludes with Finn learning that some people are just jerks, but failing to comprehend what fetishes are. I really adore this episode. It's probably my favorite episode of Season 1. There's not really a depth to it, but it's tons of fun. Tons of morbid, weird, sometimes creepy fun. And that's one of the defining characteristics of Adventure Time that makes it stand out from other cartoons. The colorful, bright, happy, yet creepy and awkwardly dark weirdness and wackiness. Freak City has got a lot of it. When an episode starts out with an innocent forest animal being turned inside out, you know you've got something special coming your way.